Hello guys, I'm back with a 2024 house map prediction. So we're going to start off with the house maps that are likely going to be redistricted or changed. And I think the best first state to start off with that is Wisconsin. So, with the state of Wisconsin, as of right now, the Democrats are slightly favored to retake the Supreme Court seat here, and that would pretty much ungerrymander the state. That Republicans had such an advantage in redistricting here, well, that would pretty much disappear with a Democratic Supreme Court majority. And so far, it looks like they're favored to take back that seat there. So here's what I anticipate happening with that redistricting. So let's start off with Wisconsin's first district. I think they're going to split Milwaukee into two here, which would make Wisconsin's first a likely district. They're going to split it into two, and that'll give the Democrats pretty much three safe districts here. Wisconsin's third. I think it's still going to be lean D. I think there's still a lot of rural areas in this district. Unless they split Madison, they could just fortify it, like make it likely D. But I don't think they'll be that aggressive. I think they'll just make it lean D, just to give the Republicans a chance of fairness. Wisconsin's eighth. I could see they make this Green Bay district a lean R district. But I think the Republicans will be very favored to win it still. So that's my current rating for that. So Wisconsin pretty much gets ungerrymandered. It's a split delegation of 4-4, and this is what I think will happen. All right, let's hop over to North Carolina. Now, this state's going to be very gerrymandered in favor of the Republicans. They have a Supreme Court majority, and they're going to be redrawing the maps. 14th district's going to be made likely red. 6th district's going to be made likely red. The first district and the 13th district. 13th is going to be made likely red, while the first will narrowly favor Republicans, probably by about 2 to 3 points, but it'll be a tilt GOP advantage here. Democrats could win that swing district. Okay, for the state of Ohio, the Ohio governor has pretty much stated he wants an independent redistricting process to occur in the state of Ohio. So we could see Ohio's map radically change in favor of the Democrats here. They could probably get up to like 4 safe blue seats. Like the first district could be made safe blue. 13th could be made safe blue if they split the city in Cuyahoga here. But as of right now, let's just assume they keep the map. So Democrats are favored in the first district in Ohio's 13th. Let's take a look at how their competitiveness are. I'd put this as about lean D, I would say. Marcy Kaptur, again, she's easily wins most of the time. It'll be a more Republican year, though. I think there'll be more Republicans turning out in the state of Ohio for Trump or DeSantis if they are the nominee. But so far, Ohio, Democrats hold on here in most of their seats. Okay, so that's all the redistricting areas we went through. So we're going to start off with the East Coast, I would say. So Maine second, it's just going to be a lean D district again. I don't think Jared Golden's going to lose. He frequently overperforms in most things, and he gets a lot of ticket splitters because that's how the state of Maine operates. New York's first. It's going to be a likely district. I just don't think it's going to be competitive. Same with Garbarino. He easily wins most of the time. The Staten Island district here, it's gone for Democrats. They're really not going to contest it that much next time. In New York's fourth, it's a democratically won district by 14 points. Again, Delgado is going to be D'Esposito is going to face a very tough challenge of getting reelected here. I think what happened is the Democratic base didn't really turn out at all in the midterm election, like in the suburbs. New York's third, again, if the nominee is George Santos, safe D, but it probably won't be him. It'll just be a lean D race just to start off with. It'll be presidential level turnout. Hard for Republicans to win that district. Okay, New York's 18th, Pat Ryan. Again, incumbency advantage is going to help him a lot in this district. He'll win it by about a likely margin. Mark Molinaro in New York 19. I think he's slightly favored still. I think he's a more moderate Republican, good fit for upstate New York. New York's 22 with Brandon Williams. He's too much of a MAGA Republican to win at this point. I think he's the underdog to win here, especially the presidential level turnout. And with Michael Lawler, I could see him as a more moderate type of Republican. He could have a chance, but it's still a Biden won district by 10 points. So I don't think he's the favorite. I think he's a slight underdog as well. Okay, let's hop over to New Jersey with Tom Keene here. It's hard to tell. It's a Biden won district by about 4.5. If we could scroll all the way down here. Biden won district. Where did I? There it is. 4.5%. Tough to tell, but with presidential level turnout, I think if he acts as a moderate in Congress, he could win re-election. So I'm giving him that narrow win there. In Pennsylvania, let's take a look at that. It has a ton of competitive districts, but we're going to go through these. So with Susan Wild, I think it's about a lean D district. I think the Democrats get good turnout here. They're trying to target Brian Fitzpatrick. I don't think it's going to work. I think he wins by a likely R margin and lean R at the worst. But Pennsylvania's 10th, Scott Perry. It's a decently competitive district, but he still wins by a lean margin. Chris Deluzzo in PA's 17th. He did quite well in the midterm, so I think he's a likely D favorite so far. We'll see. And Pennsylvania's 8th, Cartwright. It's a Trump won district, but then again, he usually wins over those Trump voters, so he'll be able to win here. But his district's on biding time. Eventually, he's going to lose. But for now, I think he'll hold on. Okay, with the state of Virginia, I just think this district will be about likely Democratic. I think the Democratic incumbent here will be able to hold on. Spanberger, I think she'll do it. Loria in this district in Virginia right here, I think she'll be able to flip back her old House seat here. I think Biden would probably win the state of Virginia against Trump by over 10, and maybe it'll be likely under DeSantis. But still, that'll be enough for Luria to win back that House seat with presidential level turnout. The one district in Indiana, I think it's going to be a lean D district. Future target for Republicans for sure. In Michigan, let's take a zoom in on that state. Decent amount of competitive districts here. I think John James holds on if he runs for re-election here. But Democrats are definitely going to target this district. Michigan's 4th, surprisingly. It's only been won by Republicans by 4 points. I could see this district, and I think Biden's going to carry Michigan by a bigger margin than last time. I could see this being a lean R district, a potential target for Democrats for sure. Pennsylvania Ace with Dan Kildee. I think this will be about a lean D district. And Slotkin's old district, she's going to run for Senate. So I think it'll just be tilt D for now. Republicans could have a chance at flipping it because of how narrowly won it was. But if Biden wins by a likely margin here, lean D. For now, tilt D. Okay. Next state. In Illinois, the only competitive really swing district here, I think Sorensen's narrowly favored to win it by a lean margin. Axney's old district, I think Zach Nunn still favored to win re-election. Again, Iowa's just trending more and more Republican, doesn't shock me. Don Bacon, I think he's an underdog at this point. I think he's definitely it's going to be hard for him to win, especially with presidential level turnout. He barely won in a red midterm, so he's a significant underdog in this district, and I think Democrats are narrowly favored to win it. With Colorado's 3rd district, again, it is trending very Democratic Colorado these days, but I have to zoom in on it because it doesn't have the competitive list yet. So, Colorado's 3rd district. Again, it's a district Trump won by 8.4%, but it's in a very rapidly trending Democratic area. But I still think Boebert, I change my mind on this like all the time, but right now I think Boebert is narrowly favored to win here. I mean, she barely won last time here in a red-leaning midterm, but Colorado went nearly 20 points blue. In this election, it'll probably only go like 16 points blue, which is why it shifts a little bit more back to Republicans. Colorado's 8th district, however, again, I think the Democratic incumbent's favored to win here. They're an incumbent after all, to be able to win this district. I don't think Trump or DeSantis could get good margins in Colorado than sure a flip of that suburban district. New Mexico's 2nd. Again, Yvette Ayer's probably going to run again, but I think she'll lose again in the state of New Mexico. I just don't think that district's favored for her to win. In Texas, the only competitive Senate seats are the 3 bottom ones here. There are going to be 2 likely D seats and a lean GOP seat because that's pretty much how those districts are going to shake out anyway. Okay. With Arizona, let's take a zoom in on that state. The 2nd district, it's just gone for Democrats. Tom O'Haran tried to hold on. He lost by a likely margin. It's gone. However, David Schweithart's district, this should be their top target. They're going to be able to flip this district narrowly. I really do think they'll pull it off. And Cisco Maney, Again, if Biden does pretty well in this state, he could have coattails and be able to enable a Democratic victory here. And so far, the top two candidates, DeSantis and Trump, I think Biden will be easily able to beat Trump in Arizona. And with DeSantis, be a very close battle. If DeSantis is the nominee, then this district just tilts Republican. If Trump's the nominee, it's tilt Democratic. As of right now, it's a coin toss on who's going to be the nominee. But I'm going to assume it's Trump so far because he's number one in the polling. So Arizona 6 narrowly flips for the Democrats. Okay, with Montana's first district, we're going to zoom in on Montana here. Again, because Jon Tester is on the ballot here and there's a lot of ticket splitters, I could see the state going for Biden or going against Biden by over 10 points, but as of right now, I have Tester as a narrow favorite. So I think Tester could have some coattails here, and Tranel nearly won last time against Zink, but it's going to be a new Republican running because Zink's running for Senate. So as of right now, I could see just because Tester's running for Senate, he could enable a Democratic victory here, and I just think he'll just narrowly be able to get a Democrat elected here because of his good overperformance in the Senate race. Okay. All three of Nevada's competitive districts are just likely D. They just gerrymandered extremely well in Nevada. In Washington's third district, again, it looks like Joe Kent is running again. He's going to lose again. Now that the Democrat has decent moderate appeal in this district, I think her margin could only grow from then. I could see even her winning by a lean margin. But it's still a Trump district by 4 points. So that's why I'm rating as tilt Democratic. Okay, the state of Oregon has three competitive districts. Even though they're thoroughly Biden won, they were really, really close in the 2022 midterms. And I still think I could see a lot of ticket splitters here, especially for Lori Chaz's Dreamer. But in these three races, I consider this a likely D race. Same with Oregon 6. And Oregon's 5th, the presidential level turnout, I could see her not being favored to win here. But she's a slight underdog, 45% chance of winning. But right now, the Democrats already have recaptured the House of Representatives. Probably because they won pretty good battles in Ohio and Wisconsin over the past month. Especially with the Ohio governor stating he wants redistricting not to be a partisan process. That only helps Dems in this state because it's a gerrymandered Republican state. In Wisconsin, with that Supreme Court judge election coming soon and Democrats being narrowly favored to win, that definitely gets them 2 seats. But we'll start off with Alaska here. I just think it's lean D. Mary Batola. She's built a really good brand name in this state. It's probably going to be there for years. Don't really need to explain it. So for California. California's 3rd district. It's a quite rural district, which is why I'm rating it as lean Republican. California 13th and 22. These districts are just so Democratic. We should look at them. 11 points, 13 points. With presidential level turnout, these guys are probably both going to lose. I just don't see a real path for them to win. It's going to be a super uphill battle, even for Mike Garcia. Honestly, at this point, because Christy Smith is finally not running again, they could probably run a good candidate for once Democrats, and I think they'll be able to narrowly flip that district by a tilt Democratic margin. Okay, with Young Kim's district, though, and Ken Calvert's, I still think Ken Calvert holds on here by a narrow tilt Republican margin, but it is in a trending D area. Young Kim, she always, or not sure if it's a guy or a girl. Well, this candidate always frequently overperforms when I look back on election results, so it's going to be a likely R district. Quite a moderate candidate as well, I heard. Katie Porter's district, it's a Biden district by 11 points. Even though she's not running here and running for Senate, it's still likely D with presidential turnout. And honestly, I think this is the election Michelle Steele finally loses. She underperformed quite a bit in the 2022 midterms with presidential Democratic turnout here, and with Biden probably winning the state by a lot. I could see her narrowly losing at this point. Okay, let's zoom in on the whole United States. Democrats get a 225 House majority to 210 for Republicans. This is probably the biggest the Democrats had in a House prediction in a while of mine. But with a lot of cases going the way in Ohio and Wisconsin, and with Tester running for re-election, that only helps them in holding the House, especially with flipping Montana's first district that assists them. So This is my current 2024 house map prediction. Let me know what you think of this in the comments below. And I'll see you guys in the next video.